Hey everybody, what's up? Thanks for taking time to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're playing MTG Arena Brawl. We have an Golgari version Brawl that revolves around Chevill, Bane of Monsters. As always, we're going to break down all of the cards. We're going to talk about all of the deck's tactics, strategies, synergies, all of those fun things. We're going to slide into today's gameplay footage after that, break down all of the plays that we came across, and finally close up with our final thoughts. So, thank you all for watching. If you find any value within this video, it would be great if you gave me a thumbs up and shared it to a friend. So, without any more rambling, let's get right into the deck list. It's going to take us a while because it is a Brawl deck, which means it consists of 60 singleton unique cards that are all different. So there's a lot of reading to do here. Again, if you're not into this section of the video, I do have timestamps down below so you can jump right ahead to our gameplay footage if that's all you're here for. So let's talk about the cards and learn what's in the deck. Our deck has Chevill, Bane of Monsters as our commander, a legendary creature, human rogue, a 1/3 with death touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with a bounty counter on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. So this is a great draw engine. Obviously, that's one of my favorite things in Magic the Gathering is removal and draw engines, and this is what the deck focuses right around. Moving on to our 1-drops, we have Falmir Knight. This is a 1/1 with death touch. It has Profane Insight attached to it, a instant adventure for 3. You draw a card and lose 1 life. Knight of the Ebon Legion is a 1/2 in which we can pay 3. Knight of the Ebon Legion gains +3/+3 and death touch until end of turn. At the beginning of your end steep, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. Serrated Scorpion, a 1/2. When Serrated Scorpion dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. Shadow Spear, equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. We can pay 1 permanent your opponent's control, lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Equip cost is 2, so that's quite handy. Of course, every Brawl deck has Arcane Signet, an artifact which we can tap for 1 mana of any color in our commander's identity. Assassin's Trophy, an instant, destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, and then shuffle their library. Wilt, another instant, destroy target artifact or enchantment, cycling for 2, which means we can pay 2, discard it, and draw a card. Heartless Act, another instant, choose 1, destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature. Fiend Artisan, a 1/1. Fiend Artisan gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. We can pay X plus a Golgari dual hybrid land, either or black or green, right? Plus tapping it, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Paradise Druid, it has hexproof as long as it's untapped. It's a 2/1, and you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Leafkin Druid, 0/3, we can tap it to add a forest. If we control 4 or more creatures, we will gain 2 forests instead. Incubation Druid is 0/2, which we can tap to add any mana of a land that we could produce. If Incubation Druid has a +1/+1 counter on it, instead, we'll add 3 mana of that type instead. We can adapt it for 5, and the adapt is 3, so it will put 3 +1/+1 counters on it, bringing it to a 3/5. Moving on to our 3-drops, we have Midnight Reaper, a 3/2. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Midnight Reaper deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. Murderous Rider, a 2/3 with lifelink. When Murderous Rider dies, put it into the bottom of its owner's library so it never really goes to the graveyard. Awesome. We also have Swift End attached to it. It's an instant adventure for 3. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life. Leyline Prowler is a 2/3 with death touch and lifelink. We can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Elspeth's Nightmare is an enchantment saga, meaning it has 3 phases, each of them triggering on your upkeep. First one being triggered when you play the card. Destroy target creature an opponent controls with power 2 or less on your next upkeep. target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, that player discards that card, and on your third upkeep, exile target opponent's graveyard. Natural End, destroy target artifact or enchantment, you gain 3 life. Moving on to our 4-drops, we have Dirge Bat. This is a 3/3 with flash and flying. Mutate costs for 6. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Nightmare Shepherd is a 4/4 with flying. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's 1/1 and additional to Nightmare and its other types. Gemrazor is a 4/4 with reach and trample. Mutate for 3. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Questing Beast is a 4/4 with vigilance, death touch, and haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. Shifting Ceratops is a 5/4, which cannot be countered and has protection from blue. We can pay 1 Shifting Ceratops gains your choice of reach, trample, or haste until end of turn. Pulkranos Unchained, a 0/0. However, Pulkranos enters the battlefield with 6 1/1 counters on it, and it escapes with 12 1/1 counters on it instead. If damage would be dealt to Pulkranos while it has a 1/1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that many 1/1 counters from it. We can also pay 3 to have it fight another target creature, and the escape cost is 6, plus exiling 6 other cards from your graveyard. We have Ritual of Soot, destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. Guardian Project, an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card, which, because it is singleton, will be triggered quite frequently. Vraska's Golgari Queen. This is our first planeswalker, I believe. She's coming in with 4 loyalty counters, plus 2 ability. You may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, you gain 1 life and draw a card. -3 ability, destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less. And -9 ability, you get an emblem with, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. Wow. Vraska's Swarm Eminence. This is another planeswalker coming in with 5 loyalties. A static ability of whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a player or planeswalker, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. And a -2, create a 1/1 Black Assassin creature token with Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals damage to a planeswalker, destroy that planeswalker. So that's actually really unique. Death Sprout, an instant, destroy target creature, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Moving on to our 5-drops, another planeswalker, Bane of Monsters Advocate, coming in with only 3 loyalties. However, her passive ability is you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast creature spells from the top card of your library. +1 ability, create a 3/3 green beast creature token, put your choice of vigilance, reach, or trample counters on it. -2 ability, when you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost and put it into the battlefield. We have Cavalier of Night, a 4/5 with lifelink. Whenever Cavalier of Night enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you destroy target creature an opponent controls, if you do that, and whenever Cavalier of Night dies, return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Massacre Girl is a 4/4 with menace. When Massacre Girl enters the battlefield, each other creature gets a -1/-1 until end of turn. Whenever Massacre Girl dies this turn, whenever a creature dies this turn, each other creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1/-1 until end of turn. We'll talk about that in our strategy. Moving on, we have Status and Statue. Status only costs 1. It's an instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. And Statue costs 4. Destroy target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Moving on to our 6-drops, we have Liliana Dreadhorde General, coming in with 6 loyalty, a static ability of whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. +1 ability, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. -4 ability, each player sacrifices 2 creatures. And -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and then sacrifices the rest. We have Garruk Cursed Huntsman, another planeswalker coming in with 5 loyalties. No static ability, however, he does have a 0 ability, which is unique. Create 2 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens with whenever this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garrick, and -3, destroy target creature, draw a card. -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control, get +3/+3, and have trample. That's what it's all about there. And finally, we have Casualties of War sorcery. Choose one or more. Destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, land, and or planeswalker. So that's really unique. All of these spells are accompanied by 1 Castle Lochthwain, 5 Swamps, 1 Witch's Cottage, 1 Castle Garenbrig, 5 Forests, 1 Gingerbread Cabin, 1 Golgari Guildgate, 1 Jungle Hollow, 1 Overgrown Tomb, 1 Temple of Malady, a Blast Zone, Command Tower Fable Passage, Field of Ruin, Field of the Dead, and 1 Karn's Bastion. So be sure to check out the deck list in the description below. You can just copy it and then import it to Magic the Gathering Arena to play with this Brawl deck. I hope I didn't butcher the deck list too bad. That's a lot of reading to do, but we've got it out of the way. Let's relax and break down the deck's strategies, synergies, and tactics within the current Brawl meta. Personally, I really like this deck. It has lots of draw and it has lots of removal. Those are some of the best things that you can have for consistent wins in Magic the Gathering. Obviously, if you run out of cards, your opponent doesn't, he's just going to win because he has renewable value, right? So it's good to keep up that way. And then it's really good to have removal to deal with his draw engines, right? His high priority cards to keep him muffled down to get from ramping over top of you. So generally, you really just want to ramp with this deck. You want to get your Bane of Monsters out early. You want to have your opponent play a creature. You want to remove the creature. You want to have him play a new creature next turn. You want to remove that creature. And it just wants to be a cycle that you repeat over and over and over. The only way he's going to get out of this is if he's playing 2 creatures a turn, or if he removes your Bane of Monsters and then plays around it, which would be the recommended thing to do if you're playing against this deck. Because if you just keep playing creatures into the battlefield, Bane of Monsters puts his bounty counter on him. We get to remove him with a plethora of removal within the deck, and we get to draw. We gain 3 life. Hopefully we draw more removal and we just repeat the process, right? So that's it. And then finally we get into our planeswalkers because we've survived until turn 6, something like this, and we can just flood the field with more value than our opponent and smash him old school with all of these big Golgari beasts, right? We have so many cool things within the deck to talk about and different strategies and synergies, but really it comes down to just playing the cards you're dealt. Some of my favorite cards within the deck to make sure you're having consistent wins: Guardian Project. This is one of the greatest cards in any green Brawl deck. We also have Arcane Signet, a ramp plus mana fixing, another staple of great Brawl decks. So that's our go-to. I don't mind having like a Ritual of Soot, and then I just try not to remove creatures and then get them all at once. However, it's not necessary. I would rather have a nice mana curve that we can ride up and ramp with single target removal, because with single target removal, we're gonna get the triggers from our Chevill, whereas Ritual of Soot will get 1 trigger, but then we'll wipe all of our creatures as well, which is a bummer because we don't have very many creatures with mana cost 3 or less. A fair amount of 4s, but like a lot of low cost creatures are Fiend Artisan, Paradise Druid, Leafkin Druid, Incubation Druid, Midnight Reaper, Murderous Rider, like there's a lot of creatures, never mind our commander that we wipe with Ritual. So you have to try to play around that and distinguish what deck your opponent is playing and decide whether or not you want to use that card in the matchup or not, and when you're going to use it, right? Again, it just focuses around playing Chevill and riding the curve up through removal, just continuously removing his creatures, getting more value out than him, getting into a Casualties of War to shut him down, all of your planeswalkers. One of my favorite plays is Vivian's -2 into a Cavalier of Night, and then you get to bring another creature into the battlefield, and then we bring something like our Pulkranos or our Questing Beast, depending, or even a Nightmare Shepherd, right? Probably Nightmare Shepherd out of the gates, just because then we're getting that additional value if we do lose some creatures. But there is so many different ways to play this deck. We have Fiend Artisan that can bring out a creature as well. Obviously, some of our favorite creatures to bring out. Questing Beast, Nightmare Shepherd, Cavalier of Night, or Massacre Girl if we're behind. I wanted to touch on Massacre Girl because this is similar to Ritual of Soot, because we do have a creature-heavy deck, so we might not necessarily want to play Massacre Girl and wipe our entire field either, right? But it is situational, so if you are with your back into the corner, you can play Massacre Girl and probably get out of it by wiping the field, so that's really unique there. But again, it's very situational, and you probably don't want to remove the majority of your creatures because it is a creature-based deck. So with that being said, you guys, I think that's all I can think of for the general strategy. Remove your opponent's creatures, draw cards, gain life, smash them with extended value in the mid-range game. I'm live on Twitch every single morning, 6 a.m. PST. I'd appreciate your company. We also have daily uploads here on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified of our future uploads, and most importantly, share this video to any friends who you think might find some value from it. If you're looking to go a step further, we do have a Discord community as well, over 1,000 people, all skill levels, beginners to experts. It's a great way to both share your experiences within Magic the Gathering Arena and to get help as well if you need any of that. It's a really friendly community. We've not had a single problem, so I welcome you to join our Discord, link in the description below. With this all out of the way, you guys, let's get into today's Brawl footage where we are playing Chevill, Bane of Monsters. I know you're going to enjoy it, and make sure to watch to the end and catch my closing thoughts. So we'll talk to you in a few minutes. Enjoy. Let's go! I mean, free mulligan's cool. Look for your Arcane Signet, maybe, but we have removal. We have our Midnight Reaper, and yeah, can't really complain, so let's get started. We can come in nice and tapped with our Guildgate. Don't mind that. Castle Lochthwain can come in untapped later, so maybe we'll just skip around that. Let's get our Bane of Monsters in play. He's a 1/3 with Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. So, this is kind of a bummer with Heartless Act because it doesn't destroy it. It is just a human wizard. We are going to probably just push in. Oh, it comes in tapped, eh? I didn't realize that. My bad. We have Death Touch, so he can't really defend. So let's get our point of damage in. It's nice to have Field of the Dead out of the way, I guess, right? Nothing else comes in tapped after that. I should really read every card before I play it. I get kind of lazy, and I just free cast. Bites me every time. So he has to discard a card, and then draw 2 with an amass. So it's a 0/0. We could just remove that now. Up to 3 counters. So we don't have to necessarily remove the bounty counter. We can remove his +1 counter. Right, we're fine. Just keep playing it slow. He's fully tapped, so it would just be a block. I would probably honestly leave it there. He does decide to do just that. The bummer is we don't get another bounty counter until the first one leaves. Okay. We'll go to command, that's fine. We get the draw from our Midnight Reaper. I believe. Do we not? Interesting. Let's take another forest. Let's just pass this turn. And, yeah, we're going to try to flash in our Batra. That's great. Nice block, nice block. So the Guardian project is so tempting for me to play right now, just to keep a draw engine going. So that's not going to have really any benefit to it for a while. Let's throw our Guardian project out. It's just such high priority. A great draw engine in any Brawl deck that features green. Right? Basically, whenever we play a card, we get to draw. Because all of our deck consists of single cards. Right? It's a singleton styled deck. Alright, so he does kill our Midnight Reaper while our Bane is off the field. Shifting Ceratops has protection from blue, which is going to be very helpful here. Ideally, he plays a creature, and we can mutate our Gemrazor onto our Batra, destroy his research. Ooh. And the creature. But he just kills our Batra for a single mana. That's pretty aggressive. Let's just play our Liliana. Why beat around the bush? Let's just straight up aggress.
Smelly, but effective.
So he's still really struggling. Right, just because Liliana comes in with so many loyalty counters. It's hard to deal with in just one turn, unless it's a 2-for-1, in which case we're benefiting.
What a good, mindless minion.
We still have access to our Heartless Act. Oh, it's a human. We can't do that. Idiot! Maybe we'll just leave it and we'll instant speed our stuff in. I don't really want to put it on our zombie token. Right, because if he bounces it, that's always a bummer. He does decide to take the draw. I don't necessarily want to use our Wilt on it. I'd rather cycle the Wilt, just because we have Gemrazor. Okay, here's Niv Mizzet. So I literally don't mind this. Right, let's snip that in the butt right away.
Do not ruin my dress.
We can kill Rimrock with our zombie, get a draw out of it. This is all kinds of bad for us and him. He's just gonna call it quits there, and that's just how powerful the deck is. Hey, we're gonna play slow, play defensively. And by golly, we're gonna get there eventually. Let's gain that life. We have a Nightmare and all that good shenanigans. So I think we should strictly play defensively. Paradise's Druid is really nice. It activates our Massacre Girl. It's perfect removal on his Caprador. And no attacks. I'm going to keep my Hexproof. Soren's on the field now. Brings his Caprador back. That's incredibly interesting for me. We can get rid of Rise to Glory, I guess. Let's put something out with Reach. Right?
I'd like you to meet
Just to
friend.
stop his flyer. Okay, he hits our Vivian. That's fine. He mutates his Caprador, pushing it to a 2-3. Actually, it'll be a 3-4. So it will survive. One, two, three, four. Yeah, this will work perfectly. Actually, no, it won't. He's too strong. That's fine, though. Ooh, Ritual Suit doesn't clean that up. It's got 4 mana.
Diversity is our greatest strength.
Let's get our Bane out as well. And we have 4 mana left. We will use just our Murderous Rider. Let's hit his Sorin. Down to 1. He hits our Vivian down to 3. Playcrafter is fine. guess we toss our dude. Goes to attack. Thinks we don't have reach, but I mean, he must know something's fishy. Down to 24. I think that's a good way to spend our life points. Soren is now got the chip on his shoulder. Let's keep reach just in case. We gain 3 life here, draw a card, which is great, and I think that's going to be game. Complete dominance, 2 games in a row. Oh, he doesn't die because he's put into the command zone. That's something that we learned last game. Afterlife 3 when he dies. Interesting. Spread our value. And I think we can, oh no, he's got way more than 3 mana. Let's plus up. Kill our cabin. Get a Ceratops, that's fine. We have 3 mana available. I guess let's just make another 3/3. This guy should probably have reach as well, just for his afterlife flyers. And yeah, we will let our opponent go to his turn. And now we're going to kill his knight. Then the tokens have summoning sickness, so they're not really dealing anything this turn. And we gain 3 life to our card. Beautiful. So because of Vivian, we can start casting from the top of our library, which is really cool, especially when there's a questing beast there. Due to her passive ability, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So as long as we don't pull into a land. Again, this is not really that worrisome for us, I guess. Let's keep our reach in play. Let's use a Playcrafter, just because when Soren goes to the battlefield, nothing really helps us. And we can easily wreck this, right? Just with Braskus. 3 life, draw a card. We get Temple in. We know that there's a Nightmare Shepherd there, that's fine. And I guess that's minus. I wish I had something worth 5 other than the Massacre Girl. Because that would kill all of our stuff too. Let's just do it. Like we've already won this game. Let's be cheeky.
The arc bow is quite powerful.
I think it will work if we can pull our Nightmare Shepherd. But what do we want? Pretty sure that's the play. And then when things die, we'll get like token copies of them. Actually, because we go to the command zone, I don't think that even works. And I think we just killed our dude. You gotta learn how that priority triggers, right? Boot Nipper, he's got something going on for him, I guess. If he could just see our hand. We're experimenting, we're learning how it goes, pushing the limit. Feels kind of bad. I guess? I don't know. Planeswalker, land, creature. Creature, land, I guess. Planeswalker.
This will not be my final party.
Alive for a life.
Sacrifice land for draw. Let's make our 3/3 with reach, I guess. I don't know. Attack for 4. 38 cards left. Our opponent's totally choked out. These brawl matches have not even been a struggle.
Taste your neck. You'll taste my blade.
Poor guy. Let's do some more shenanigans. This time not with our
Herd grows ever larger.
massacre girl, just to kill what we play, lol.
Savagery loves company.
Oh gosh, I do love a Fiend Artisan. Right, that's always great. And we can nuke the Caprador. Really, no struggles at all. Questing Beast will deal the damage to Soren. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is one of the better Brawl decks. Just really exercising removal and draw. Such a great way to win. He kills our Verascus, oh no. He needs a planar cleansing or something. And even then, we've got a sick hand. I think he's kind of coming to realization that it's over. LOL. This is still a match somehow. Let's see how our opponent plays here. I'll just read our Twitch chat while we're waiting. I'm live on Twitch every single morning, 6 a.m. PST, if you guys want to partake. Okay, I really like that idea, let's not forget that. So, because I just have this new effect I made yesterday, whoa, right? It's called anime speed lines, and then I made a shake to the camera. Lots of saying I should look confused and like make those Japanese symbols around my head, like, what's going on? I think that'd be really cool. And then we have Tombi. Just came back to MTG recently. I don't have much of a collection, but saw your videos recommending not to open packs until a decent number of rares have been collected in the set beforehand. Is that still the best thing to do for a new player? I'm late to the set cycle. Nightmare Shepherd, and we talked about that. I know you're asking Hello Good Game, but it's probably going to say save your gold to do drafts. Yes, so honestly, Tom, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. And it's cool because I can address it again. It's something that I have to readdress over and over. It depends on your time requirements. Definitely, if you're interested, check out our farming guides. And then, ooh, it's our turn. I don't think this matters at all. Let's just plus and doesn't matter.
I call.
Do we have anything with haste? Yes, we do. Shifting Ceratops. And it comes down to your time requirements and your win rate. So how good are your draft games and how much time do you have to draft? Because you can also, if you have enough playtime, let's go! Hand looks fine. I do like sitting on Golgari, no black land. Maybe we'll take a mulligan, look for an Arcane Signet. It never hurts. It's not great, but I think we can make do. He's using Kinan Bonder's Prodigy, which allows for insane ramp. If he's using his mana, he needs to play his dude. And then we can get our counters going on and just use some removal here. We have Assassin's Trophy, right? Had 2 mana of different colors. That's pretty ridiculous. So, we were going to do it on his upkeep, but we decided to just go for it. And Ugin the Infallible. That's not good. Wow.
Secrets manifest before you.
Wow. Shoot. So we have the kill here, unless he blocks. But if he blocks, we get the draw. He also does, though. He also gets the draw, though, so it's less than ideal. The Shadow Spear will be handy on probably our Polkranos. Okay, so this is a real brawl match we've found ourselves into here. We shouldn't have been so loose with that Assassin's Trophy. We got confident. Now we're about to be punished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's kill Cavalier Thorns. Ooh. Ouch. I didn't see that he had a Veil of Summer there, did I? That's one of the most broken cards. Alright, Ritual Suit's not gonna work here. I think we have to go in with Polkranos and do a big fight. That's our next go-to, right? Guardian Project, you dirty dog. Into a Vivian. Oh my lord, you guys. We're getting punished.
And I will survive you. With my aim and their claws, you're done.
Alright, so we basically wasted a whole turn. And this is still a match somehow.
Lies beyond vision.
We kill his draw engine, or one of them. More Death Touch is going to be our best bet, I think. He has so much mana available, it's disgusting. This Cavalier of Thorns we really need to get rid of.
This'll be fun to watch.
I can create
Nice.
or destroy.
So, Ugin can still -3 on us, which sucks. That's a little bit greedy, don't you think, kids? A Leyline of Abundance. Wow. Now he's finally gonna play his Bonder. When he already has 1,000 mana. I don't know why he needs 2,000. We have 3 mana because of our Prowler. So we can still do it. Should have done it on the beginning of his upkeep, but you never know if he gets a buff spell or like what's going on, right? He can reactivate his ley line on us. Like, there's a lot of things that can go wrong there. He does take his Guardian Project, which is nice, at least. And we pull a Questing Beast, which could be worse. I'm sure he's tempted to minus his Ugin on our Bane of Monsters. Oh my lord. That's what the Bonder's for. Woof.
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
The Great Henge, that's just lovely. What can't he play? Oh my lord. How much mana is this island or forest worth? Like 300? What? He was able to play something with 6 mana costs for 2. That's incredible.
Curious tactic.
He has so much value on us. Like, we're doing our best here, but god damn, bro, leave us alone. This is brutal. He's down to 30 cards.
Secrets manifest before you.
I mean, I don't even mind if he fights our Pokranos. Right? If we can get rid of... Oh, that sucks. Right, it's like, if we can get our Questing Beast through, that would be awesome. Alright. Alright, you settle down, bro.
Fit enough to survive.
Yeah, use some more of that mana you've got so much of. Right? We need to like recast Rituals to that like 10 times over again. Ouch. Too bad it doesn't give his other creatures haste, though, is the thing. Only he gets haste. So that's like something that's new. And don't get me wrong, he's still hitting us for 15. Which is a little aggressive. You settle it down, Billy. Woo! That's a hot hit. Ouch. This is still a match somehow. Oh my god. Killing its great Eng. I don't even know at this point. I guess we needed to kill his God Pharaoh statue in order to cast our Questing Beast. Oh my god! Do we have Vigilance? No. Good game. He knows he's got us. Yikes. And that actually was one of the better games. Ugin the Infallible winning right out of the gates, though. I was not able to handle him. And yeah, he just is absolutely annihilating me here. With a finale of devastation. I'll use that less as the weeks go on. It's brand new for me, so I gotta pepper it in literally all of the time. I can't not pepper it in, right? A 13-12 ooze, 17-17 shenanigans. Still makes sense. You should have tapped the land for mana, and then made it a thing, then cast this. Like I don't want to tell him how to do his job, but there's room for improvement here, even though he's absolutely annihilated us. Haha, Volcranos is there, so I just removed a token. LOLs. Woof! What did you guys think of Golgari Chevill Bane of Monsters Brawl deck, focusing on removal and draw? I think this is one of my favorite Brawl decks. I also wanted to mention a couple really important things as we close off today. The first and foremost is we have a monthly Brawl tournament the last weekend of every month. Just look up Hello Good Game on Battlefy. You'll find us. We also have links in the description below. It's free to enter with cash prizes. It's a really great way to spend a morning. It only takes a couple hours to go through the whole tournament, so it's really time friendly. We know that you guys have personal lives as well, so we can't keep you at your computers all day, right? So definitely join our free to enter Brawl tournament, link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it to one of your friends. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel for your chance to win up to 500,000 gems. And then of course, hit the bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads, so you're in the loop, not missing out on any news. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Live on Twitch every morning, 6 a.m. PST. I can't wait to see you there tomorrow. Take care, have a great day, and we'll talk later.